Have you ever looked up at the night sky, at the billions of stars, and felt a sense of wonder? A feeling of being connected to something larger than ourselves? What if I told you that this connection might be more than just a feeling? What if our brains, the very essence of who we are intertwined with the fabric of the universe itself? This isn't science fiction. This is the astonishing possibility presented by the quantum mind theory. For centuries, we've tried to understand consciousness as a product of the brain, a biological machine of intricate wiring and firing neurons. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if consciousness isn't just about the physical matter of our brains, but about something deeper, something that connects us to the quantum realm, the quantum world, with its mind-boggling laws of superposition and entanglement, challenges everything we thought we knew about reality. Particles existing in multiple states at once, actions instantly influencing events across vast distances. Could these very principles be at play within our own minds? Imagine a universe within each of us, a microcosm of the vast cosmos, where our thoughts and feelings are not merely electrical impulses, but ripples in the quantum fabric of reality. This is the profound implication of the quantum mind theory. It suggests that we are not just observers of the universe but active participants in its unfolding story. Could this be the key to unlocking the mysteries of consciousness? To understanding how our thoughts, beliefs, and even our intentions might influence the world around us? The possibilities, much like the quantum world itself, are both exhilarating and uncharted. Join us as we embark on a journey into the frontiers of science and consciousness. Prepare to explore the mind-bending implications of the quantum mind, where the boundaries of reality blur and the universe within each of us whispers its secrets. The story of the quantum mind begins, perhaps surprisingly, not in the laboratories of neuroscientists, but in the world of quantum physics. At the dawn of the 20th century, pioneers like Niels Bohr and Max Planck were peering into the heart of matter, uncovering a reality stranger than anything they could have imagined. They found that the subatomic world, the building blocks of our universe, danced to a different tune. Electrons, once thought of as tiny particles, sometimes behaved like waves spread out across space. The very act of observing these particles seemed to influence their behavior, as if they knew they were being watched. This wasn't just a scientific curiosity, it was a revolution. These findings shook the foundations of classical physics, revealing a reality that was fundamentally uncertain, a reality where the observer played a crucial role. Could this uncertainty, this observer effect, hold the key to understanding consciousness itself? Some audacious thinkers began to wonder if the act of observation could alter the fabric of reality at the quantum level. Could consciousness, the very act of observing our own inner world, be a quantum phenomenon as well? The double-slit experiment, a cornerstone of quantum mechanics, became a focal point for these speculations. In this experiment, particles fired at a screen with two slits don't act like bullets passing through holes. They act like waves, creating an interference pattern. The mystery deepens. When observed, these particles suddenly choose to act like particles again, passing through one slit or the other and collapsing the wave function. How could our mere observation, the act of looking at these particles, cause them to change their behavior? Could it be that consciousness itself, often described as a kind of observation, is somehow intertwined with this quantum weirdness? This led to the radical idea that consciousness might not be just a product of the brain, but a fundamental aspect of reality itself, just like space, time, or energy. And perhaps, just like in the quantum world, our minds might be capable of influencing the very fabric of our experiences. It's a dizzying thought, isn't it? To think that something as personal and subjective as our own consciousness could be intimately connected to the most fundamental laws governing the universe. Now, let's dive deeper into the quantum realm, into a phenomenon so bizarre, so counterintuitive, that even Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. This is quantum entanglement. Imagine two particles, linked in such a way that even when separated by vast distances, they remain connected. When you measure the state of one particle, you instantly know the state of the other, no matter how far apart they are. It's as if they're communicating faster than the speed of light. defying the very rules of classical physics? Could this spooky action be happening within our own brains? Could our thoughts, our memories, even our consciousness itself, be somehow entangled with the world around us, connected in ways we're only beginning to grasp? It's a tantalizing possibility, one that blurs the lines between the observer and the observed, between our inner world and the vast expanse of the cosmos. Think of the human brain, with its billions of neurons firing in intricate patterns, a symphony of electrical and chemical activity. For decades, neuroscientists have focused on these firings, these synaptic connections, as the basis of consciousness. But what if there's more to the story? Deep within our neurons, there exist tiny structures called microtubules. These microtubules, some scientists propose, might be the perfect candidates for quantum entanglement within the brain. Their structure and behavior, according to some theories, could allow them to process information in a quantum way, storing and transmitting it through entanglement. Imagine your thoughts, your emotions, potentially encoded in the quantum states of these microtubules, entangled with each other and perhaps even with the world beyond. It's a radical departure from traditional neuroscience, but one that could unlock secrets of the mind we never thought possible. This isn't just about neurons firing, it's about a delicate dance of quantum information, a symphony of entanglement playing out within the theater of our minds. If our brains are truly harnessing the power of quantum entanglement, what does that mean for our everyday experiences? Could it be that our perception, our ability to observe the world and make sense of it, is fundamentally shaped by these quantum processes? Think about how we see the world, how our brains take in a constant stream of sensory information and construct a coherent narrative. What if this process isn't just about processing electrical signals but about collapsing wave functions, about choosing from a sea of quantum possibilities the reality we experience? Perhaps our consciousness, through its entanglement with the quantum realm, plays a more active role in shaping reality than we ever imagined. Could it be that our thoughts, our beliefs, even our expectations, influence the very fabric of our experience through this quantum interplay? The implications are staggering, suggesting a universe where the observer and the observed are inextricably linked, where the boundaries of our minds extend far beyond the confines of our skulls. Of course, the idea of a quantum mind is still in its infancy. It's a realm where speculation often outpaces hard evidence, where the tools of science are still catching up to the grandeur of the questions being asked. But amidst the mystery, there are tantalizing clues, hints that quantum processes might indeed be at play within the brain. Researchers are exploring the role of quantum phenomena, like quantum tunneling and quantum coherence in brain activity, searching for those telltale signatures of the subatomic world influencing our thoughts and behaviors. From the study of bird navigation to the exploration of human consciousness, scientists are pushing the boundaries of what we know about the brain, seeking to unravel the intricate interplay between the quantum and the classical, the mind and the universe. It's a quest that takes us to the very edge of human understanding, a journey into the heart of what it means to be conscious, to be alive, to be a part of this magnificent quantum universe. But as with any scientific frontier, the path to understanding the quantum mind is paved with challenges. How do you measure something as elusive as consciousness, let alone its potential quantum underpinnings? How do you disentangle the subtle signals of the quantum world from the noise of our classical reality? Now, let's venture into even more mind-bending territory. If our brains are truly quantum machines entangled with the fabric of reality, what does that mean for our very perception of the world around us? Does the world outside our minds exist independently of our observation, or do we, in some way, participate in shaping it? Think about it. We often take for granted that the world we see, touch, and hear is an objective reality, independent of our thoughts and feelings. But what if that's just one possible interpretation, one slice of a much grander quantum reality? What if our brains, through their quantum interactions, are constantly collapsing wave functions, choosing from a sea of possibilities the reality we experience? It's a radical notion, but one that's not entirely foreign to us. We've all had those moments of déjà vu, those uncanny coincidences, those times when the universe seems to align in ways we can't explain? Could these be glimpses into the quantum nature of reality, moments when the veil between possibilities thins and we catch a fleeting glimpse of the grander tapestry? It's a question that has captivated philosophers and mystics for centuries, and now, with the advent of quantum physics, it's a question that's finding new life in the realm of science. Consider intuition, that gut feeling, that inner knowing that often guides us in ways we can't quite explain. Could it be that intuition, rather than being a mystical phenomenon, is actually a manifestation of the quantum mind at work? Imagine, our brains entangled with the universe at the quantum level, are constantly receiving and processing information from beyond our conscious awareness. This information, filtered through the intricate web of entanglement, might manifest as those subtle nudges, those flashes of insight that we call intuition. It's not so far-fetched when we consider the implications of quantum entanglement. If information can be instantaneously transmitted between entangled particles regardless of distance, then perhaps our brains can tap into a vast network of interconnectedness, accessing information that extends far beyond our immediate surroundings. Intuition, then, becomes less about mystical powers and more about a deep listening, a tuning in to the subtle whispers of the quantum universe within and around us. Now, let's turn our attention to creativity, that wellspring of imagination and innovation that seems to defy logical explanation. Could it be that the creative spark, that sudden flash of inspiration, is another example of the quantum mind at play? Imagine, the human brain with its billions of neurons firing in complex patterns is already a hotbed of creativity. But what if these neurons are also entangled, capable of exploring countless possibilities simultaneously, just like particles in a quantum superposition? Perhaps the creative process involves tapping into this quantum realm, exploring those countless potentialities, and then collapsing the wave function, so to speak, to bring a single inspired idea into being. Creativity, then, becomes less about conjuring something from nothing and more about choosing from a boundless field of possibilities, guided by the whispers of the quantum muse within. For centuries, spiritual traditions have spoken of a deeper reality, a realm beyond our senses, where consciousness transcends the limitations of the physical world. Could it be that these ancient insights were, in a way, premonitions of the quantum mind? Imagine, our minds entangled with the fabric of reality are not confined to the physical boundaries of our bodies. Through practices like meditation and mindfulness, we might be able to quiet the noise of the everyday world and tune into this deeper, quantum realm. Perhaps those experiences of interconnectedness, of oneness with all things, reported by mystics and spiritual seekers throughout history, are glimpses into this quantum interconnectedness. Moments when the veil between our individual consciousness and the universal consciousness thins. The quantum mind, then, offers a new lens through which to view these ancient spiritual insights, not as supernatural phenomena, but as expressions of our deep entanglement with the cosmos. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of the quantum mind, we enter a realm of boundless possibilities. The very nature of reality, the relationship between mind and matter, the potential for consciousness to shape its own experience, all of these fundamental questions take on a new light when viewed through the lens of quantum mechanics. The journey ahead is sure to be filled with challenges, with skepticism and uncertainty. But it's a journey worth taking, for it holds the promise of unlocking some of the deepest mysteries of our existence. Imagine, a world where we unlock the full potential of our quantum minds, where we harness the power of entanglement for healing, for communication, for creativity beyond our wildest dreams. A world where the artificial boundaries between science and spirituality dissolve, replaced by a deeper understanding of our interconnectedness with the cosmos. The exploration of the quantum mind has just begun, and as we venture further into this uncharted territory, we may find that the greatest discovery of all is not out there, in the vast expanse of the universe, but within ourselves, in the infinite depths of our own quantum minds. Now, for all its allure, the quantum mind theory isn't without its critics. It's a radical idea pushing the boundaries of both physics and neuroscience. And as with any bold scientific claim, extraordinary evidence is required. The challenge lies in bridging the gap between the abstract world of quantum mechanics and the tangible realm of the human brain. How do you pinpoint those elusive quantum events, those whispers of entanglement, amidst the cacophony of neural activity? Some researchers believe they're getting closer. They're exploring whether quantum phenomena like superposition and entanglement could be occurring within the microtubules of our neurons, those tiny structures responsible for maintaining cell shape and function. Could these microtubules be the brain's quantum computers, processing information in ways we're only beginning to understand? It's a tantalizing possibility, but proving it requires pushing the limits of our experimental capabilities, developing new tools sensitive enough to detect the faint signals of the quantum world within the bustling metropolis of the brain. One of the most well-known and controversial hypotheses in the field of quantum consciousness is the orchestrated objective reduction theory, often shortened to Orch-OR, developed by physicist Sir Roger Penrose and anesthesiologist Stuart Hameroff. Orch-OR proposes that consciousness arises from quantum computations within these microtubules. Their theory suggests that these quantum computations are orchestrated by the structure of the microtubules themselves, and when these computations reach a critical threshold, a reduction occurs, collapsing the quantum wave function and giving rise to a conscious experience. However, Orch-OR has faced its share of criticism. Some argue that the brain is simply too warm and wet an environment for these delicate quantum states to survive long enough to play a meaningful role in consciousness. The debate continues to rage. Can the brain, a biological system subject to the laws of classical physics, truly support the delicate dance of quantum phenomena? Or is Orch-OR, while intellectually stimulating, ultimately a bridge too far? It's important to note that the quantum mind theory, in all its variations, remains a minority view within the scientific community. Many neuroscientists argue that we don't need to invoke quantum mechanics to explain consciousness. The brain, they contend, is a complex but ultimately classical machine, and consciousness arises from the intricate interplay of its billions of neurons. They point to the remarkable progress being made in understanding the brain through traditional methods, such as brain imaging and lesion studies, arguing that these classical approaches are sufficient to unravel the mysteries of consciousness without resorting to quantum explanations. Furthermore, critics of the quantum mind often cite the lack of direct experimental evidence. While some intriguing findings hint at the possibility of quantum processes in the brain, none are conclusive. They argue that the burden of proof lies with proponents of the quantum mind to provide more robust evidence. The debate is far from settled, with passionate voices on both sides. And as with any scientific frontier, healthy skepticism is essential. But the very act of questioning, of exploring the boundaries of our current understanding, is what drives scientific progress. So where does this leave us? Caught between the allure of the quantum mind and the skepticism of more traditional views. Perhaps the answer lies not in choosing sides, but in building bridges. The study of the quantum mind is still in its early stages. It's a realm where disciplines collide, where physics meets neuroscience, where philosophy intersects with biology. This interdisciplinary approach, this willingness to bridge the divides between fields, is where the most exciting breakthroughs are likely to occur. Perhaps one day, we'll develop tools sensitive enough to directly observe quantum events within the living brain. Or perhaps we'll discover entirely new theoretical frameworks that bridge the gap between the quantum and the classical in ways we can't yet imagine. The quest to understand the quantum mind is, in many ways, a quest to understand ourselves, to unravel the deepest mysteries of consciousness and its place in the universe. And while the answers remain elusive, the journey itself is a testament to the boundless curiosity of the human spirit. The search for the quantum mind isn't just a philosophical exercise, it's driving the development of groundbreaking technologies that could revolutionize our understanding of the brain. Imagine tools so sophisticated, so precise, that they allow us to eavesdrop on the whispers of the quantum world within our own skulls. Quantum sensors, 1,000 times more sensitive than current imaging techniques, are being developed to detect the faint magnetic fields generated by the brain's activity. These sensors could provide unprecedented resolution, allowing us to observe the delicate dance of ions and molecules within individual neurons, potentially revealing those telltale quantum signatures. And then there's the burgeoning field of quantum computing. These powerful machines, capable of harnessing the bizarre laws of quantum mechanics to perform calculations far beyond the reach of classical computers, could be the key to unlocking the secrets of the brain's complex computations, potentially simulating the quantum interactions thought to underlie consciousness itself. It's a tantalizing prospect, using the power of quantum technology to decode the quantum language of our own minds. What new frontiers of understanding might we unlock? What mysteries of consciousness might we finally unravel? But the implications of the quantum mind extend far beyond the laboratory. Imagine a future where understanding the quantum nature of our minds allows us to tap into our cognitive potential in ways we never thought possible. What if we could enhance our memory, sharpen our focus, or even expand our capacity for empathy and compassion by learning to directly access and influence the quantum processes within our brains? Could meditation, biofeedback, or even specially designed technologies one day allow us to consciously tap into this quantum realm, unlocking hidden reserves of mental and emotional well-being? Think of the possibilities, overcoming cognitive limitations, unlocking untapped creativity, fostering deeper connections with ourselves and others. The quantum mind, once a fringe theory, might usher in a new era of human potential, where the boundaries of what we consider possible are redrawn by our understanding of the quantum world within. It's a future worth striving for. A future where science and spirituality converge, where the exploration of our inner cosmos leads us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the universe. But with such profound potential comes profound responsibility. As we delve deeper into the quantum realm of the mind, we must also grapple with the ethical implications of this knowledge. What are the ethical considerations of manipulating or enhancing consciousness at the quantum level? If we develop technologies capable of influencing the quantum processes of the brain, who controls access to this power? Could it be used for healing or for harm? Could it widen the gap between the haves and have-nots, creating a new form of inequality based on cognitive enhancement? And what about the very nature of consciousness itself? If we can manipulate it, enhance it, or even create artificial consciousness, does it diminish the inherent value and dignity of human experience? These are not easy questions, but they are questions we must ask ourselves as we venture further down this path. The exploration of the quantum mind is not just a scientific endeavor, it's a human endeavor. And as such, it requires careful consideration of its ethical implications, ensuring that this newfound knowledge is used responsibly, ethically, and for the betterment of humanity. The quest to understand the quantum mind is not just a scientific revolution, it's a philosophical and spiritual one as well. It challenges our most fundamental assumptions about the nature of reality, the relationship between mind and matter, and the very essence of what it means to be human. For centuries we've viewed ourselves as separate from the universe, as observers looking out at a vast and indifferent cosmos. The quantum mind suggests a different story. A story of interconnectedness, where our minds are not isolated entities but integral threads in the grand tapestry of reality. This new perspective has the potential to bridge the artificial divides between science and spirituality, between reason and intuition, between the material and the immaterial. It invites us to see ourselves as part of something much larger than ourselves, to recognize the interconnectedness of all things, and to approach the mysteries of the universe with a sense of wonder and humility. This is the promise of the quantum mind, a new enlightenment, a deeper understanding of our place in the cosmos, and a profound shift in our perception of reality itself. As we stand on the precipice of this new understanding, it's important to remember that the journey is just beginning. The quantum mind is not a destination but a direction, a path of exploration that leads us deeper into the mysteries of consciousness and the universe itself. The answers we seek may not come easily. They may require us to rethink our most cherished assumptions, to challenge the boundaries of our current understanding, and to embrace the unknown with open minds and courageous hearts. But the pursuit of knowledge, the drive to understand who we are and where we fit into the grand scheme of things, is at the very core of what makes us human. And as we continue to explore the frontiers of the quantum mind, we may find that the greatest discovery of all is not out there, in the vast expanse of the universe, but right here, within ourselves. The universe is not something separate from us, it's something distant and unknowable. The universe is within us, encoded in the very fabric of our being, waiting to be discovered. The journey inward, into the depths of our own quantum minds, is perhaps the greatest adventure of all. We've journeyed to the edge of human knowledge, peered into the heart of reality, and glimpsed the profound implications of the quantum mind. What began as a radical idea has blossomed into a captivating exploration of who we are, how we experience the world, and the nature of consciousness. The lines between the observer and the observed blur, revealing a universe far more interconnected than we imagined. It's a humbling realization, a paradigm shift, suggesting we are active participants in the cosmos, our thoughts and emotions intertwined with reality, through the elegant laws of quantum mechanics. It fills us with awe and a sense of profound connection. If we are truly quantum beings, what does that mean for our potential? The journey inward into the depths of our own consciousness has always been fraught with mystery. The quantum mind offers a new lens to explore the uncharted territories of self. It suggests our minds might extend outward, entangled with reality. It's like a flashlight in a vast cavern, sparking our curiosity. Could intuition be a whisper from the quantum realm? Could creativity arise from our minds tapping into quantum possibilities? And what of those profound spiritual experiences? Feelings of oneness. Could they be glimpses into the interconnectedness suggested by the quantum mind? These questions challenge our notions and expand our understanding. The quantum mind isn't a static concept, a final destination for our understanding. It's a dance, an ongoing interplay between the known and the unknown, the classical and the quantum, the material and the immaterial. It's a reminder that reality itself is not a fixed, objective entity, but a fluid, dynamic process, shaped by our observations, our interactions, and perhaps even our intentions. This dance is not for the faint of heart. It requires us to embrace uncertainty, to question our assumptions, and to be open to possibilities that may seem strange, even paradoxical at first glance. It asks us to hold in our minds seemingly contradictory ideas, that we are both individuals and part of a greater whole, that reality is both solid and malleable, that consciousness is both a product of the brain and a fundamental aspect of the universe. But it's in this embrace of paradox, this willingness to dance with the unknown, that we open ourselves to the true transformative potential of the quantum mind. The quest to understand the quantum mind is ultimately a quest to understand ourselves, our place in the universe, and the very nature of existence itself. It's a journey that takes us to the frontiers of science, the depths of our own consciousness, and the heart of what it means to be human. And while the answers we seek may remain elusive, the very act of searching, of questioning, of daring to explore the unknown, is its own reward. For in the pursuit of knowledge, in the embrace of mystery, we awaken to the wonder and beauty of the universe, and to the infinite possibilities that lie within each and every one of us. The universe is not silent. It speaks to us in whispers and roars, in the language of starlight and quantum foam, in the stirrings of our own hearts and the flashes of insight that illuminate our minds. The quantum mind invites us to listen, to pay attention, to become conscious participants in the grand symphony of existence. The journey has just begun. Let's explore together.